Hey YouTube, Jarl DM here. I wanted to mention something about making shit up. So one of the problems that I've encountered when you play with people who play a lot, people who are veteran D&D people, when you start describing a monster, you see them nodding, and then they're like, "Yeah, I know what that is. That's X monster. That's this. That's a ghoul. That's a white. That's a beholder or something." They just know what the creature is, and they know its weaknesses, and they know its resistances and stuff like that. And that's really, really boring because then they go, okay, I'm going to use this skill. And I think a lot of people can't help but metagame the in the combat, because even if you're like, if you know that something is immune to fire, it's very hard for you to waste your turn casting a fire spell, even if that's what you would normally do. I think that's a special type of player who does that, and a very good type of player. But yeah, so what I do is I just make monsters up. I don't use them out of the monster manual. What I do is I take a certain type of monster, I switch its resistances and stuff around. I give it different kinds of attacks. I'll give it, if it doesn't have a bite, I'll give it a bite or something like that. Swap stuff around, give it some new spells, give it a shiny new appearance. And I'm still using the stats from the monster manual, or actually from the DMG, where they have average stats for challenge ratings and stuff like that. I figured out now that what damage is appropriate for what level, and what kind of monsters do what kind of damage, and if they have powers to swap it around. But basically what I'm saying is make stuff up. Don't use monsters from the monster manual, because I know what they are, and I know that, for example, Infinite Roleplay knows what they are, and a lot of other people who have channels and stuff, they can spot them a mile away. Like if you read the monster manual, which I'm sure a lot of you do, you'll know what the creature is by its description, and then you'll know that it's resistant to fire, or resistant to cold, or immune to slashing, or something like that. And it's much more fun if you don't know that stuff. So that's why I try to use creatures that aren't real, or well, none of them are real, but creatures that don't exist already in the canon. So yeah, that's something I would recommend doing. I think it gives your players a bit of a bit more of a scary combat. And yep, that's all. Thanks.